Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I got something new for you today. I'm out at Heroes Park and I've got a drone. It's been out for a while, but I haven't had the opportunity to look at this one yet. This is the Potensic Atom 2. And so we are gonna take a peek at this drone today. This was actually loaned to me by a friend. So I want to thank that individual for loaning me his Atom 2 so I could get a couple flights in and try it out. Uh, there's a lot of interesting features on this drone. One of the cool things about Potensic is they make a full-featured product. I know it's got a number of intelligent flight modes. I know it's got some tracking modes. From flying Potensic drones in the past, I know it's got a pretty good camera on it. This thing will shoot in 4K, 30 frames per second, and it has, I believe it'll shoot in 8K photographs. So yeah, we want to take a look at it. And this first flight today, I'm going to do a number of videos with this drone, but this first flight today, we want to focus on controllability, on the video quality, and of course, with Potensic, a big deal is a good, solid connection. Not just a control connection, but an FPV connection as well. You got to be able to see what's on this screen. And again, I am out at Heroes Park where I've flown a number of Potensic drones before, and honestly, I've had a few issues with them with regard to FPV signal and control signal. This is, you know, there's a lot of Wi-Fi around here and so forth, so interference things. I will also add, yes, I'm going to use my DJI wireless mic when I'm flying this drone, and I know that's been an issue with Potensic drones in the past. And what I'm going to tell you is if this drone can't fly with me having a wireless mic on, it's not a mic problem, it's a drone problem. I fly a ton of different other drones that don't have any problem with me wearing my DJI wireless mic when I'm flying them. So again, I just want to make that clear because I know that's a popular thing. People say, well, you got that mic on there. Well, if that's a problem, then it's not a good drone, right? Okay, before we put the drone in the air, I just want to really quickly show you the drone itself if you haven't seen it yet. There is the 4K camera, f.1.8 lens, so it's got a pretty wide aperture on it, so should let in a lot of light. And again, it is like many other mini drones. It's a foldable drone. You got to fold those front arms first. I didn't quite get that right. But then the other thing that's encouraging is on the bottom here, you've got time of flight sensors and you have an optical flow sensor to help keep it steady. What else can I show you? Yeah, you might think that's obstacle avoidance on the front. It is not. The only obstacle avoidance it has is on the bottom here. And then you also have a status light on the back. I didn't mention that. Let's turn this upside down here so you can see. There's the slot for the micro SD card. This drone does have a quick transfer feature, so it's really cool. You can fly this thing. I know a lot of people don't work off a PC or a computer of any kind. You can do a quick transfer with this drone onto your mobile device and add it right there. And then, of course, you got a USB-C slot here if you just want to charge a battery individually instead of charging it in the charge hub. And you know, other than that, it's your basic folding drone. They all look pretty darn similar. The controller is what's different with this drone. So this thing is big. This thing is much bigger than the previous controllers for Potensic mini drones. So let's go ahead and let's put the control sticks on there. So as you can see, they're stored on the bottom here. Okay, starting at the bottom here, you got a couple quarter 20 slots there that you could put in a neck strap so that you can carry it, because it's fairly heavy. But then obviously you got your OTG cable that tucks in here because your phone, actually your mobile device, fits in between the controller, just like previous models. However, this is much bigger. Now I do like the antenna. Instead of the individual antennas, you got a flat antenna, so you do fold that up before you fly. Power button on this side, return to home button on this side. Now they've incorporated some really cool things into this controller. So you have a C1 button here that will do multiple duties. It will, the way it's set from the factory default, you press this and it'll drop the camera down 90 degrees. Press it again, it'll pick the camera up. I believe a double press gives you cruise control. You can look in the app and you can see everything that it does. But it's got a number of different features there. And then same thing, you got a C2 button here. I know that the default on that for pushing that is changing the speed mode, which is really handy. And then take a picture and record with this rocker switch right here. The rollers, of course, this one is going to tilt your camera up and down. And I'm a little bit embarrassed. I don't remember if this one, I suspect that is a zoom wheel, but I don't remember. We'll find out when we get the drone in the air. Oh, I should have pointed out on the top here as well. Here's the USB-C slot for charging the controller. Okay, let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air and let's see how well it performs. Okay, I've got it fired up and I've got a screen recorder started. This drone uses the Potensic Eve app. And yeah, you can see the main interface here. I was telling you about that smart transfer earlier. You can see that's up in the top left-hand corner there. And at the bottom, you've got your typical stuff, your Academy, which has some how to fly videos, etc. Album, that's everything you've saved from the drone and on your phone, if you saved it to your phone. And me, that's going to be your flight records. It also, if you look there in the bottom left, or bottom right, excuse me, it'll tell you if it's connected to the drone, and it is. You see the phone, the controller, and the drone all lit up. So we're going to click on Fly Now, and that's going to take you to the main interface. And this drone does have remote ID, so keep that in mind. Even though it's a sub-250 drone, I'm happy that it has remote ID. So the first thing I want to check here is, I told you earlier, I didn't know what the right scroll wheel was going to do. Let's check that out right now. Yeah, and just like I thought, that's zoom. And basically that's just cropping in on the sensor. So you need to remember that. That is just cropping in on that sensor. Let's check our safety menu real quick. There you're going to have, obviously we've got beginner mode off, and speed settings, it's in video. I'm going to click it up to normal because we don't need to start in that slow speed. Signal loss, we want it to return to home. 40 meter return to home height, I set that previously. Dynamic home point, that is something that I'll want to look into more. What that should be is wherever you're at with the controller, it's going to set a new home point. So I'm going to say use that with caution, because depending on where you're at, you wouldn't, if you're under a tree or something, you wouldn't want the drone to come down on that. But that's an interesting feature. And silent return, I turned that on. That keeps it from beeping when you have it and return to home. I wish DJI had that feature. And then maximum altitude, I've got that set at 119 meters. That's about 390 feet roughly. So that is below max legal. I have distance set to no limit, and then I fly in metric, so we've got that selected. Flight safety tips, I'm going to turn that off. And then there's this other takeoff with one hand down here. We're going to have to try that one of these days. It's using a combination of the C1 button and the left stick to take off. I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, then emergency propeller stop. And then, but at the bottom, here's the battery. And we're at 95% battery already. But that battery's looking good. Cycle count only twice, so that battery hasn't been used that much. Then camera settings, let's look at that real quick. And I'm going to do everything in auto. Obviously, I've got all the grid lines on, and this is all automatic. H.264 codec is fine with me. And then, but they do give you definition and saturation controls here now. And by the way, there was a recent firmware update. I'm going to put that firmware version, the screenshot up on the board right now. So you got, well, heck, we can just look at it. Let's format the SD card while we're in here. SD card, let's click format and confirm, and it's formatted the card. That lets us know that the drone is going to see be able to write files to the card in just the format that it wants. Yeah, auto center target. I think that has to do with the follow me modes, etc. I believe that's what that is. Don't know for certain. But let's go to the about screen here, and then there you can see the firmware version. The Atom 2 app version 1.1.4 flight. Let's see, let's click that little arrow to show you firmware. And there's the drone firmware, and there's the remote controller firmware, V018 and V015. It did have a firmware update when I first fired it up, and it added a bunch of new features. And in fact, I will throw that screenshot up right now. Okay, so you guys can look at those features. And yeah, now it's time to take off. Let's get out of here. Let's do what we want to do, and let's get this drone in the air. Now, one thing about the Atom 2, you want to wait to start recording till you get the drone in the air because it will only shoot in 1080p on the ground. And then once you get it in the air, it stops recording and restarts in 4K. So you might as well just get it in the air first. And oh, while we're at it, in the bottom left, you're going to see maps. I'm going to switch to the, whoop, didn't mean to do that. I want to switch to the attitude indicator. That's my preferred view down there. I think that works quite well. Okay, so to do an auto takeoff, this is interesting. I've never seen this on any drone. You simply touch the screen. You're supposed to be able to touch the screen and get a slider. There it is. Swipe to take off. And it wants you to confirm that the battery's in place. We're going to confirm. Okay, let's try it one more time. Swipe to take off. There it goes. So there's that little drone up in the air. Let's go ahead and start recording. Tells us that the home point has been updated. Let's start recording now. So there's the little drone. It's as you can see, it's hovering quite well. Let's bring it into the camera here and let you get a good look at it. And again, there's no obstacle avoidance, so I can bring it right in. And let's crank it back and forth. You can see that little gimbal in action. It's doing a pretty good job of keeping that camera stable. You can see as I back up and move forward, it just keeps that camera pointed the same direction. So nothing left to do but do our droney first. So let's drop that camera down, and let me get out from behind the action camera here. Point the drone in the kind of the corner here. And again, we're in normal mode. Reverse and up now. Reverse and up. And I'm going to say this, the flight controls on this are quite good. So full up and full down, our vertical speed is about 8 meters per second. So I'm going to let go of that up stick right now. And it should speed up to about 10 meters per second, and it did. Look at that, 10 meters per second in normal mode. And look at that horizon. That is perfectly flat. That is a good thing to see. So the first thing we're going to do, we're already down to 85% battery. We're going to fly it around the park here and just see what we can see. So I'm going to fly it to one corner here, and let's confirm that, yeah, 9.9. Almost 10 meters per second, so that's pretty good. And let's switch it into sport mode. Let's turn it around and switch it into sport mode, and we'll try it again and see what we can do. See what kind of speed we can get out of it. The claim top speed in sport mode is 16 meters per second, so we'll give that a try. And as we're turning here, the horizon is staying flat, so that's a good thing. Let's go to this opposite corner here. I am going to use the C1 button. No, that was the wrong. I needed to. That was the other button I needed to push. Okay, it's the C2 button that is going to change the speed for me. So let's hit that C2 button. Look at that. Now we're in sport mode. Okay, full stick forward, and let's see. According to this, we're only shooting in 1080p. Hang on here. I'm going to stop recording. We want to be in 4K. So I just got to looking at the bottom. I'm certain I had it in 4K yesterday. Whoop. Let's click on that again. I don't know why I lost that. No, I don't want EV. Okay, we want to go up to 30 frames per second. And let's select, whoop, boy, it's touchy. I was going to try and select HDR. There we go. There we got HDR. So, okay, now we're in 4K 30 frames per second. I apologize that I didn't get that earlier. Probably when I did the firmware update, I suspect that's when that got changed. Okay, we were testing speed. So let's go full forward and in sport mode here. And top speed is advertised at 16 meters per second. There's 13. Yeah. Well, best we could do is 13 meters per second. There's not much of a wind. Okay, let's stop right there. Let's turn it around the other way and see what we can do going the other direction. Could be a wind issue. Okay, let's go. Let's go back to this corner. Full forward. There's 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, there's over 16. It was a little over 16. 16.1 I saw for a second there. So clearly we had wind bothering us before. Okay, so this is a good spot. So I really wanted to fly to this corner of the park because with the original Atom and the Atom SE, in this corner of the park, I would almost always lose FPV feed. This drone has been perfect so far. Again, I'm using my DJI wireless mic, not having any issues. That is very, very encouraging. Okay, we're going to stop recording here for a second, and we're going to take a picture. So I'm going to go, I think I can do it without changing anything. I'm going to do it on the controller, the left side of that button. Yeah, and I don't think it took a picture. I think it just switched it into, no, it started recording again. Well, okay. Let's shut that down and let's manually switch it into photo mode here. So we're going into photo mode and let's hit that button again. And you can see, well, just while we're here, let's talk about this. You've got single photo and you have burst mode. And you have that BRK, which I believe is Potensic version of AEB, automatic exposure bracketing. BRK must stand for bracketing, I presume. And then you have burst mode. You do have an interval timer. I guess you could use that for a time-lapse photo or time-lapse video even. And then you can select 8K. So let's take both. Let's take a regular and an 8K. So I'm going to hit the button on the app. Well, maybe. There we go. And we got a picture. While you're looking at that, I'm going to switch over to 8K. Okay, we've got 8K selected, and I see it cropped in. So let's go ahead and hit the button again on the app. And it's taking it longer, but it's taking a picture. Okay, I'm going to go back into just regular photo mode. And we are going to go to the opposite corner of the park here. And I always take a couple pictures when I'm at this park. I take a picture here facing the Boise front that you just saw. And I fly in, and boy, look at that crooked horizon right now. That was weird. We turned around and, man, that horizon went crooked. Let's swing it back and see if we can straighten it out. Look at that. As soon as I yawed it over, it straightened out that horizon. Okay, that's actually a pretty minor thing there, but it's worth pointing out. Okay, I'm going to adjust the camera down just a little bit to get to that rule of thirds, and then let's take a picture here. This is just going to be, well, let me adjust. Let me point more towards the Costco there. Take a picture. Boom, and let you look at that. Now that is, I often take pictures pointed these both directions, and that way you can compare them with other drones that I've taken pictures here at. So let's go back into video mode. And it's 4K 30 again. Let's start recording. Maybe. There we go. We got recording started. And we're still in sport mode. This is probably a good time to do this then. Let's run. And boy, yeah. So there we got a little bit of crooked horizon, but we are in sport mode, so we'll try that again in normal mode and see. I can give it a pass in sport mode. So we're going to cross the street here, perpendicular, cross the street. And I got a little video transmission weak signal there, but I was faced away from the drone. But so now I'm faced towards it, and we got good signal back. Let's go. Wait for that car, and then let's go straight across. And yeah, video transmission weak, and I am facing directly towards the drone. Let's grab some altitude here. Let's get it up about. I stopped forward motion. We're at 65 meters high, so that's well over 200 feet. So that should be plenty good. And I have the antenna pointed straight at the drone. This is a test that I do with most drones. Yeah, and we're just losing signal here. Yeah, so and we're getting stuttering on FPV. That's disappointing. I had hoped for better, but let's keep pushing on. Let's see if we can get out here to the corner of the park. The problem is when you start having control issues like that, and I'm watching. Yeah, I can see we're just about to lose signal here. RC is. Let's go ahead and climb some more. Let's see if we can get some of that signal back. And it does help to climb. And the thing is, we're higher than I just as soon be flying at. We're almost at max legal, 111 meters high. So that's about, I don't know, 375 feet or so. But that got us out here. But if you look at that signal strength meter, it is well into the red. So let's see if we can get it out to a kilometer. There's a kilometer right there. Now I'm going to turn around and let's see. The aspect of the antennas will change as I turn. Let's see what that does to our signal. Well, it kind of got signal back, didn't it? So it kind of helped us. So as we're turning around, there's the big Walmart right there. Yeah. And we got a little skip on FPV there. Let's bring it back. Yeah, video transmission signal weak as it's coming back toward, and my screen froze up there a little bit. So I'm just going to tell you. I realize this is in an urban environment, and there might be a little bit of Wi-Fi here, but I'm pointed directly at the drone. There's no reason that we should be having these kind of issues. And we're flying pretty good speed here, almost 16 meters per second. So that's nearly 35 miles an hour. And we'll get perpendicular to the road again and come back across. We're down to 36% battery, so we are almost ready to do a return to home. Let me get perpendicular to the road. Looks like we got a good clear spot here, so let's get across the road. And we got good signal again. Let me start bringing the drone down, pulling down on that down stick. And another thing to talk about here is this drone, because you don't have an all-in-one controller. My iPhone screen is starting to dim out in the sunlight, and that does make a difference. So here we are back over the park. There's something else that I want to do here. I want to get, we're looking at controllability of the drone. So we're going to switch into normal mode. There's video mode. One more time, there's normal mode. And again, I did that on that C2 button on the controller. That's really convenient. And by the way, comment on this controller. This controller is really easy to carry. I like having the phone right in the middle of the controller, and they really did a good job. Very well thought out, the way they set up the buttons. I like how this one works. So let's get out here. And one of my tests that I like to do, let me get a little bit higher and drop that camera down. You can see we haven't got much wind, but let's see if we can do an orbit. And this is in normal mode. I'm trying to do a manual orbit around the flagpole. And what does that tell you? That tells you how well you can control the drone, how well the controls work. And look at that, I'm having no problem, even in normal mode, keeping it in center of frame. So that's a good thing. Potensic did a wonderful job with these controls. There I had a little stutter on FPV, and I am literally, yeah, signal is weak, and I am literally pointed right at the drone. I mean, the drone is right in front of me, less than 100 meters away, and yeah, signal weak. Okay, well, there we go. Let's bring it back. Let's go out to the other corner out here, uh, and let's see what we can do with return to home. And we're down to 23% battery, and in fact, I suspect it could go into low battery return to home at any time here. Let's pick up that camera. While we're looking at the while we're in this corner, let's check out that zoom. And mind you, the zoom on this drone is just going to be cropping in on that sensor. So I'm using that right side wheel. And let's see, there's 1.1, 1.2. There is 2, I'm trying to get to 2 by, there's 2 by zoom. I'm going to pick up the camera again, focus more on the mountain. In fact, I'm going to pick it up even more. Let's get the mountains kind of at the center, and let's continue. Yeah, no, 2 by is it, I guess. So 2 by zoom is it in 4K. I probably will crop in more in lower resolutions, but yeah, the whole point of a camera drone like this is to shoot in the best resolution possible. Okay, 19% battery. I'm going to hit return to home on the controller, and let's see how close this guy gets. Yeah, and it's in return mode, and it's going to rise to its 40-meter height, which we weren't far from that. And it did that exactly. Turned around, heading back to us. Let's see how close this guy gets to the landing pad. I'm making sure I'm still recording on my action camera, and I am, because I want you guys to be able to see the landing. And let's drop that camera down as we go so we can see how accurate it's going to be. And down it comes. And of course, if you look at the signal strength meter, the drone is right above us. So let me see if I can, yeah, if I point the RC up, we got signal back. But anyway, just pointing that out. In my mind, Potensic still has a little work to do on their FPV feed and signal strength. Now you can see it's a little bit off from the. We're going to let it. They just mowed this grass, so we're going to let it land in the grass, and it's a little bit off there, as you can see. Let me move the camera closer so you can see, but yeah, but not bad. Okay, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. I just noticed something. It did not stop recording when it landed, so make sure you stop recording. That way you won't get a corrupted file. Hey, okay, the Potensic Atom 2. I am pleased with this drone. It flew great, and I like the features that Potensic put in it. This is vastly improved from the original Atom, and I think it's well worth the upgrade. I'm trying to remember the prices. I think the basic package is about around $300 with a single battery. You're going to want to get the multi-battery version, which is, I can't remember. It's probably more like closer to $400. Take a look on Amazon and you'll see. But, you know, for the price, it's a lot of drone for the money. I've looked at the video quality off of it before, and I know it's good, so I know you're going to see some nice looking video from this drone. Now, if I have any disappointments in what I saw today, it again was control signal and FPV feed. Now, it is not even close to as bad as the Atom SE and the Atom was. Not even in the same ball game. For the most part, this thing was pretty good. We did have issues flying out when we were going across the street, and all my drones, when I'm doing the first flight, I go out there behind that Walmart just to see, you know, what kind of signal strength and so forth. And often with almost any drone, as soon as you get out there to about 1 kilometer, as you turn around, It changes the aspect of the antennas to the controller, and sometimes you can lose connection. This drone had actually improved the connection, but on the way over and on the way back, we saw some FPV dropouts, and we saw that signal strength meter drop quite low, and it gave us some warnings. So, you know, that could be better. A lot of other drones can fly out there and back with no problem, and this one didn't. And then also the other time that I had an issue was I was doing an orbit around the flagpole out there, and I was faced with the antenna right towards the drone, less than 100 meters away, and I had a couple of FPV stutters and signal strength. You saw that signal strength meter go in the red, and you go, well, what's that about? But in any case, that's overall, it flew great. And I know there's a bunch of people, because I've seen their posts, that they say, oh yeah, I flew mine out 5 miles or whatever. I don't know why you'd want to fly a drone like this out that far, but whatever's fair. In any case, I think it continues to be an issue, because I've also seen other people's reviews that have had similar signal problems to what I showed you just now. That said, you know, I like the drone, and I would not hesitate to buy it if you're looking for a sub 250 drone. I like the fact that it has remote ID, so if you have a Part 107 license, you don't have to worry about that. It's already got our remote ID. You don't have to put any kind of a module on there or anything. It's already got it built in. So yeah, I guess that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate that you took the time to watch this video. And of course, I'll absolutely see you on the next one. The Potensic Atom 2. Thank you to my friend for sending this to me and giving me a chance to fly it and review it.